Hey everyone, welcome to Yogana. My name is Anna, and today we're going to be doing a flow for climbers. So we'll get into the arms a lot, stretching there, and then the shoulders, and then also a lot of strengthening in the core, just to work on that stability and flexibility. So go ahead and grab your mats and we'll get started. Posture. If this is really sensitive on the knees, we won't stay here for long unless you want to. But we'll just go ahead and start that direction just to lift up the spine a lot and then get deep into that neck. So we'll just start with some shoulder rolls, just moving in one direction, working out those shoulder blades, giving them a little self-massage, switching directions if you haven't already. Good, and then we'll take the hands down beside us. Maybe the fingertips just slightly hover or touch the ground beneath you. And then we're just gonna take the gaze over the right shoulder. So keep that left shoulder nice and far down the spine. Dropping that left shoulder, keeping those left fingertips grounded. You'll start to feel it in that side of the neck. Maybe even slightly dropping that right ear. Getting deeper into those neck muscles. Good, we'll start to lift the head back up, take it back through center. Gaze goes over the left shoulder. If that's plenty, maybe just staying there. Again, just checking in with that right shoulder, making sure it stays down the spine. Dropping that left ear if you drop the right ear on the other side. Good, and then lifting the head, coming back through center, rolling out the shoulders again. And then option here to come to that seated posture, cross-legged, if that feels a little bit better on the knees, or you're welcome to stay right here in kneeling posture. So we're gonna cross that right arm across the body, take that left elbow, lock the elbows, and then just pull that right arm across the body deeper, just bringing in that arm with that left elbow. So locking it in, getting deep into that right shoulder, crossing the body, using that left arm to gauge the intensity. Good, and then releasing, shaking it out, switching sides, taking that left arm across the body, locking it in with that right elbow, and then pulling that left arm closer towards the body with that right arm to get a little bit deeper. Good, release, shake it out, and then get into the biceps. So we'll cross both arms overhead, grab onto that right elbow with your left hand, let that left hand just fall down the spine. And pulling yourself again deeper with that left fingertips, that left hand, to get you deeper into that right bicep. And then releasing, switching sides, bending in that left elbow, grabbing on with the right fingertips, and pulling yourself deep into the stretch on the left side. Good, releasing, interlacing the hands behind you and then pressing the knuckles away. Heart opens up, shoulders roll open. Exhale, we'll just dive it down for a moment. Maybe lift the hips off of the heels. Pressing those knuckles up towards the sky should feel really good in the shoulders. And then bring yourself back up, come into tabletop, release the hands. Separate the knees about hips distance wide. Shake out the hips, wrists are underneath the shoulders. And then from here, we're just gonna take that right leg out beside us. Walk the hands forward. Press the hips back. Get deep into that right hip. Melt the heart down as you breathe. Inhale, lift the heart up, walk the hands back under, switch sides. Right knee comes in, left leg extends. Finding your edge here, walking the hands forward, keeping the hips just over the knee, if that feels like plenty of a stretch, or pressing the hips back to get deeper into the left hip. Melt the heart down, forehead rest on the mat. And then inhale, bring yourself back up, walk the hands in, release, come into tabletop. And then we're gonna take the hands, turn them to the outer edges of the mat, and then just start to rock the hips side to side. So you're gonna get deep into those forearms, those little muscles there, rocking the hips side to side. Good, and then switching, maybe just turning one hand if that's plenty intense, or turning both hands and then letting the hips come back and forth. Just taking it nice and easy here. It's really intense on the forearms. Good, turning one hand, coming to the back of the hand, and then the other, not putting too much pressure on here. Good, and then just slowly unwinding, rolling out the wrist. Good, and then coming back to all fours, making your way into a down dog. We'll tuck the toes, lift the hips, and then pedal out the dog. Drop one heel, bend the opposite knee, switch sides, warm up the hamstrings. Good, when you're ready, we'll evenly press both heels down towards the mat, the hips up towards the sky, and then inhale, kick that right heel high, find three-legged dog, stack the hips, open up the hips, feel that deep stretch in the hips. Roll out the ankle, switch directions, feel that inversion in the head, and then release, find four-legged down dog. Feel the difference in both sides, and then kick that left heel high. Stack the hips, rotate that left hip open, roll out the ankle. Good, lower down that left foot, and then drop the knees again. So from here, we're gonna interlace that right hand behind the head. We'll inhale as we open up with that right elbow. Exhale as we close, elbow to elbow. Inhale as we open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, last time, close. This time we'll inhale, fully extend that right arm, reach high, and then exhale, thread the needle. Right arm reaches underneath the left. Left arm reaches forward to ground you, or wraps all the way behind you, resting on that right hip. Rotating that left shoulder, that heart open. Keeping those hips in line with the knees. Breathing into this twist in the torso, and then especially into the shoulders. Using that climber intention, really opening up the spaces that need some extra love. If you took that hand behind you, that left hand behind you will unwind, plant it down. Inhale that right arm high, and then switch sides. Lower down that right hand, interlace the left hand behind the head. Inhale as you open up with that left elbow. Exhale as you close, elbow meets elbow. Inhale as you open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Last time, close. Inhale, open, fully extend that left arm, and then exhale, thread it through. Lowering down onto that left shoulder, Keeping that right hand planted, maybe extending it a tad forward or wrapping it all the way behind you, resting on that left hip. Wherever you're at, just imagining that heart opening up. So maybe if the hand's still planted, just pressing into the palm, rotating that right shoulder open, that heart open. Good, we'll release here. Plant that right hand down, inhale that left arm high. Exhale, find all fours, move back into a down dog. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, and then walk the feet forward, up to meet the hands. Good, inhale, circle, sweep the arms high. Exhale, palms come together at prayer. Good, inhale, circle, sweep the arms. Exhale, dive it down, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, step that right foot back. Drop the right knee, untuck the toes, inhale the arms high. Grab onto the right wrist, pull yourself over to the left side, and let that right hip aim towards the front of the mat. So you feel this nice long line in the right side body. Inhale, arms come back overhead. Exhale, press the hips back, arms fly back, find a little half split, melt the heart forward. And then inhale, bring those hips forward, bend in that left knee. Plant the hands, frame that front foot, and then tuck the back toes, lift the right knee, move through a flow. Press that left foot back to meet the right. Lower down, chaturanga, bent elbows aiming towards the back of the mat. Untuck the toes, tops of the feet, bottoms of the hands are touching, up dog. Exhale, press the hips back, find down dog. Good, when you're ready, we'll inhale, kick that right heel high. Exhale, bring it up and all the way through. Good, making sure those toes are in front of the knee. And then dropping that left knee, untuck the toes, inhale the arms high. Drop the hips low, grab onto the left wrist, pull yourself over to the right. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, press the hips back, extend in that right leg, fly the arms back. Good balance here, nice and strong. And then inhale, bend in that right knee, arms come back overhead. Exhale, frame that front foot, tuck the back toes, lift the knee, kick that right foot back all the way, find three-legged down dog. Exhale, right knee comes up to meet the right elbow, hovering here, nice and strong. Exhale, press it back. Inhale, knee comes up to meet the nose, hover, round through the spine. Exhale, press it back. Inhale, bring it across the body. Right knee comes to meet the left elbow. Press it back. Inhale, bring that foot all the way through. Find a high runner's lunge. So inhale, arms high. Drop the hips low. Find Superman pose. So inching those fingertips forward about 45 degrees. Heart hovers over that right knee. Maybe fly the arms back. Hover just a hair deeper over that right leg. Take the arms back overhead. And then move into standing split, kicking that left heel high, taking those arms down. Soften that right knee, make sure you don't overextend there. Bring that left hip in, aiming towards the mat. Maybe challenge your balance here, grabbing on to that left calf, or just keep it planted. Good, from here, we'll bring the palms together at prayer center, ground through that right foot, bring that left knee in, bring it all the way forward. Challenge your balance here, so grab onto that left knee with your left hand. Right hand comes to the right hip. Pull in that belly button, activate the spine, activate the core. Good, stay right here if this is plenty, or if you're calling for a little bit more, maybe find a little bit of a twist, grabbing onto the left knee with your right hand, and then starting to reach back with the left fingertips. Good. Unwinding here, taking that left hand forward, and then lowering that left foot down to meet the right, shaking out the hips, inhaling arms high. Exhale, sit back in chair pose. Drop the hips low. Weight goes back into the heels. Maybe lift the toes up off of the mat. Make sure you can see your toes over your knees. Exhale, fly the arms back. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, find forward fold, straighten through the knees, lift the hips. Hang out here for a moment. Soften the knees, grab opposite elbows, shake out the head, yes and no. And then release the elbows. We'll inhale, find a half lift, flat back. Exhale, step that left foot back. Right foot goes back to meet it. Move through a flow, meet in down dog. Inhale as you find up dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, down dog. Good, inhale, we'll kick that left heel high, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee comes up to meet the left elbow, hover here. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale, knee comes up to meet the nose, hover here. Kick it back. Exhale, cross the body, left knee comes up to meet the right elbow. Kick it back last time. Inhale, bring that foot up and all the way through, find high runner's lunge. Inhale, arms high. Drop the hips low, and then fly the arms back. Superman pose. That heart hovers over that left knee. 45 degrees, you can keep the arms in front of you if that feels a little bit more stable, or fly them back. Really feeling that strength in the core. And then eventually bringing those arms forward, moving into standing split, stagger stepping off of those right toes, flying the arms down, kicking that right heel high, rotating that right hip in. Good. Releasing the head wherever you land. And then grounding through that left foot, softening through the knee, bringing that right knee all the way up and through, bending, finding that one-legged mountain pose, grabbing onto the right knee with your right hand. Left hand goes to the left hip. Shoulders down the spine, nice and tall. And then staying here. Or opening up, grabbing onto the right knee with your left hand, taking that right arm all the way back behind you. And then unwinding, slowly lowering down that right foot, shaking out the hips. Inhaling, arms high. Exhale, fly it down, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, meet in down dog. Move through that flow, or just press the hips high. Skip the flow altogether. Totally up to you. Good, from here we'll move into pigeon pose. So we're gonna kick that right heel high, three-legged dog. Exhale as we bring that right knee all the way up to meet the right wrist. Drop that right calf down, that right shin down, and then untuck the left toes, drop the knee. Stay right here. Just lengthen through the spine. Or if you need to get a little bit deeper into this posture, inching those right toes forward up to meet the left wrist. Or if this is just all too much, come onto the back, cross that right ankle over the left knee, and then pull the legs in, grabbing onto the back of the left thigh. You'll get that same opener in that left hip. So just gauge what you're feeling here. If you're in that traditional pigeon pose, we'll just lengthen as we inhale, roll the shoulders back, spine is really tall. And then exhale, we'll start to make our way down to our forearms, only if that's accessible. So no forcing here. If you want to stay up on your palms and just let that right hip just kind of naturally sink and melt towards the mat, you're more than welcome to. But if you can find that space, making your way down onto your elbows, your forearms, see if you can relax the shoulders as much as possible. Maybe even walk the elbows out a little bit wider if that's not forcing it. And settle in here. Good, final breath here. And then inhale, start to bring yourself back up onto the palms if you're not already there. We'll tuck the back toes, lift the knee, kick that right foot back, slowly unwind. If you're on your back in that recline figure four posture, just hug the knees into the chest and then make your way onto the other side, crossing that left ankle over the right knee and grabbing onto that right thigh, pulling yourself in. We'll eventually make our way back into that four-legged down dog if you found that traditional pigeon. And then inhale, kick that left heel high. Exhale, bring it all the way up to meet the left wrist. Ground through that left shin, untuck the right toes, drop the knee. Maybe scoot that right knee a little bit further back or bring those left toes up to the right wrist if you need a little bit more intensity. Otherwise, just stay wherever you landed when you brought that knee up and then gauge where you're at with this side. If you need to stay up on the palms a little bit longer, eventually making your way down, you're more than welcome to. Just listen to your body. If you want to stay up the whole time, you're more than welcome to. You'll get that same benefit, that same opener. Or maybe you have a little bit more space on this side. You can walk those elbows out nice and wide, soften the shoulders. Let that hip really just relax on its own, just falling, getting heavier towards the mat with your breath. Good. On the next inhale, whenever you feel balance on this side, we'll bring it back up to the palms. Tuck the right toes, lift the knee, and slowly unwind that left leg. Maybe kicking it high, or if it's just too much to unwind, find that counter pose, just find that four-legged down dog. We'll be going that direction anyway. So again, just listen to your body. Take as much time as you need to unwind. If you're on your backs, go ahead and stay there. We're gonna make our way there. If you're in that traditional pigeon pose, so just bringing the knees down and then spinning the legs forward. We'll make our way down. So we'll bring ourselves up towards the front of the mat, bend in the knees, keep the feet planted, and then take the arms, reach them forward. Start to make your way back, finding boat pose. So hovering the upper back over the mat, lifting the feet, extending the legs if that's accessible, or keeping the legs bent. Making your way down, hovering the heels, hovering the shoulders. Taking the arms overhead and then hovering, rolling onto the right side. So still hovering those feet, those arms, getting deep into the side core, those obliques. And then coming back through center, feeling the shake, rolling over to the left side. And then bringing yourself back through center, finding morning stretch, releasing, pointing the toes, reaching far behind you. Breathing, and then finishing off with reclined cobbler's pose. So we'll bring the bottoms of the feet together, knees out wide. Arms can stay overhead, maybe grab opposite elbows so you're framing the head. Really open in the heart, the shoulders. Gauge your intensity here by bringing the feet in towards the body for more intensity, or letting those toes come forward for less intensity. Letting those knees feel really heavy, those hips nice and open. I hope you all feel really stable, feel really strong in the core. Just stay here as long as you need to. Just slowly making your way up only when you feel ready. Namaste.